It's the Infinite Podcast. Go tell your friends. It's the Infinite Podcast. My God, it never ends. It's the Infinite Podcast with Rob and Clark the Q.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Project Infinite Podcast. I threw the back in there. It threw me off. The podcast where we talk about movies, comics, TV shows.
The movies that talk about the podcast.
All right, man. You know what? We're just going to roll. This is 100. I've done this perfectly for 130 episodes.
Right.
I'm allowed to flub one. It's fine. All right. You know what the deal is.
Yeah. You know where you are.
You know what this is.
You know what you're here for. But we're having fun this week.
Yeah. It's a fun episode this week. I'm here. The voice you heard, obviously, is Court. And Court, we're gonna, like you said, we're gonna have a little fun this week.
I'm excited. Basically, so I was on YouTube as I am a lot, and came across Screen Crush's one of their latest videos where they essentially were talking Avengers Doomsday, and they kind of were talking about who they think the Avengers would be during that time. So shout out Screen Crush, always doing great stuff. Ryan Airy is great. Colton Ogburn, all the gals down there are amazing. So I said, let me remix that a little bit. So shout out to them. They get full credit for this if they want. But I decided to remix it a little bit, and we're going to kind of do a draft, like a proper NBA NFL draft. Mm-hmm. There's rules and stipulations, which we'll get to after the news. Mm-hmm. But we kind of just wanted to build an Avengers team with everybody in the MCU right now. Anybody that can possibly, anybody that's been either hero adjacent, anti-hero adjacent, could be drafted to our teams. There's stipulations. There's certain pieces you need to hit. Like, we're not all going to be like, you get Thor, Captain Marvel. No, we're not going to do that. So we have certain stipulations with things. But we're going to, first and foremost, have a lot of fun with this.
Yeah.
But first and foremost, here's some news.
Yeah, only a couple bits of news this week. Starting first and foremost, we got to talk about the Sonic trailer.
Why did it cook like that?
Oh, it's incredible. So Sonic 3, obviously... I want to say, like, the finale of the trilogy, but I actually don't know. They could just keep making
I feel
these.
like something like that's going to go way farther past 3 movies. Just the way that they operate, especially with the backing of Paramount, they're going to get more out of that.
I mean, if they keep making movies that look like this, they can probably just keep making movies forever, because this trailer was amazing. Obviously, with the debut of Keanu Reeves voicing Shadow, and this movie looks like it's going to be a lot of freaking fun.
Yeah, and dude, I told you right before we hopped on, I love when these universes get these properties and they're not either overtly serious or overtly jokey, or they nailed.
They figured it out.
They figured it out. They know exactly what the tone of this is going to be. And that's have a little fun and embrace how nonsensical it is that these CGI characters are in military bases with like these Juilliard actors from years ago. Like, that's where you're at. Have some fun.
They're doing this the best way possible in terms of like the mixture of Sonic with the real world, because I think the first movie they were still trying to work that out, and I don't think the movie was good.
Right.
Like there was elements of it that just didn't quite work. Obviously Sonic was by himself. He didn't have other CGI characters to bounce off. But now, like, obviously Sonic 2 gave us Tails and Knuckles, and I think Sonic 2 was really, really great. And then obviously bringing in Shadow is like one of the last pieces. Like, they still haven't introduced Amy yet, which I imagine they'll do probably after this movie.
Yeah. I mean, Shadow obviously was the big ticket item to make sure you got into that universe. I mean, that was like making sure you get Thanos in the Infinity Saga. Like, you need to make sure he's there. Again,
Shadow's a product of this like radical 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah,
era
a lot of people don't know that. Yeah,
that gave us like, you know, comics did this. We talk about Venom all the time. Venom was a product of this. Spawn. Yeah, like Batman had
Azazel.
Azrael. Yeah,
or Azrael. Yeah.
Like in the 90s, like people were like, what if the hero but a little bit darker? And Sonic was no stranger to this, so they introduced Shadow. He has a gun.
Yeah.
No gun in the trailer.
Yeah, I need a gun, and you know why I say I need a gun? Because he's being voiced by Keanu Reeves.
Yep, he's got Shadow typically packing heat. Shadow. He's got slightly different powers than Sonic. He's in the game. I like the way that the trailer did his chaos control in this, because in the games, he uses the chaos control to slow down time to make it seem like he's as fast as Sonic. Yeah. Whereas this, they use the chaos control to make him essentially teleport. Right. Which is sick. It's a sick visual. Like, it's very Nightcrawler, which is super sick. Shadow's motorcycle arrives in this trailer. He does an Akira slide. Yeah. he's got his jet boots. It's just super cool. Like, again, it's just, what I loved about the second Sonic movie was, like, they were not afraid to just reach in the bag and just do Sonic stuff.
Right.
Which is, we talked about Borderlands last week. Like, Borderlands fell into, like, the regular video game movie trope of, like, let's try to make, like, a movie with kind of this video game.
Yep.
Whereas, like, the Sonic team understands what they're doing.
Right. And
what
they
they're making.
understand what the character is. It's like, Fallout is not the same. They're both video games, but Fallout is not Sonic. Like, they're two very tonally different products, so they understand what they're making, and that's the biggest compliment I can give them, is you took this character and you had two routes. I mean, the wherewithal to change the character design after the dang product was already made is just, it's absurd.
Saved the entire franchise.
100% it did.
Yeah, and then obviously Jim Carrey's back as Robotnik. Again, I say this all the time. It's the only time he's ever done a sequel has been these Sonic movies.
Right.
So it's kind of crazy. Obviously Idris Elba's back as Knuckles, which is great.
He was having a lot of fun in that trailer. Getting a lot of play in that trailer too.
Yeah, they're bringing, and inevitably this movie ends probably the same way that Sonic 2 ended, with Shadow kind of being not an ally full, because Shadow's never been a full-on ally of Sonic, but he'll be ally adjacent by the end of the movie,
right?
Because that's ultimately his destiny. And I'm super I would keep watching these forever.
Yeah.
as long as they keep making them. Got some Marvel news. So it was announced over the weekend that James Spader will be officially, this is from Hollywood Reporter reported this, James Spader will be returning as Ultron in the Vision series, which we also learned is going to be the finale of the trilogy of the Scarlet Witch and Vision, essentially, which contains WandaVision, Agatha all along, and this Vision show.
Yeah, I think about this on a two-pronged front. Number one is, I think they probably were never even remotely thinking about this being a trilogy. And
no.
I think what happened is they needed a sell to get James Spader back. So they were like, what if we have this grandiose finale in Vision, which is going to garner my second point of, now they're going to have to put more into this Vision project than I think they were. And I even in my head was like, I wasn't really particularly over the moon about a Vision project after WandaVision. He had solid finality for Vision himself. Like, I mean, post-mortem finality, which is really interesting concept. But now as soon as I saw James Spader, I was like, okay, and these are the conscious decisions they were making in the Infinity Saga. I'm like, now I'm actually thinking about this as credible. Like,
what this also makes me think? It makes me think that they're really confident in this Agatha show.
Yeah, yep. 100%. And we kind of sang the praises of the trailer from the Agatha show where we were like, hey, this looks pretty solid. This looks pretty, and it looks contained fun. It looks horror fun. Like, tonally, it understands what it is. Like, it's going to be a theme of, like, when projects understand what they're trying to do, it helps. It helps when you're not lying to yourself or trying to appease something else from an outside force in your universe.
And I think also, like, retroactively making these three shows a trilogy just strengthens my belief that they're teeing Wanda to come back as like the alpha Marvel character.
There's a very good chance that Feige's a genius for this too, because we keep talking about it like the anchor being who's going to be the anchor being of the MCU. I think he wants this dialogue between fans of like, who should it be? Like, naturally you could say that it's Iron Man, but why couldn't it be the Scarlet Witch? Like, you see how other universes thought about why it couldn't not be Doctor Strange. Like, we see how afraid the Illuminati was of Doctor Strange. Like, it very much could be. It could be Peter Parker. Like, of how many Spider-Men and like the web of spiders, and after Across the Spider-Verse, we know that everything's canon. So
it could be Nick Fury.
It could be Nick.
It could be Gaia.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's actually not.
It's not.
Could be Talos.
No, he's dead already.
Yeah, and the universe is gonna end.
No, not Ben Mendelsohn.
You're not talking to the cops, are you, mate?
but no, I think it's cool. I mean, the first thing I said to you was like, isn't it wild that James Spader's literally done nothing in the last 10 years for being such an incredible actor? It's been Blacklist and it's been Ultron. That's all he's done. But it's cool that he's coming back. I think there's a lot of interesting things that you can do with Ultron and Vision. Like, one of the best parts, honestly, of Age of Ultron is that last little back and forth that Ultron and Vision have. So I think it'd be cool to revisit that as Vision has all these lived experiences now, and Ultron, we don't know what Ultron's been up to. Surfing the web.
Oh, he's got to stay off the web. The last time he surfed the web, he wanted to end the human race. No good. No, don't say it. Don't say it.
So I'm super excited. And then, we're getting Agatha in a little over 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of fun. I'm really excited for that.
Same. I'm really looking forward to it.
Me too. I wasn't. And then
not even a little bit.
And then that second trailer hit, and I'm like, wait a second.
This looks interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. And then, the only other thing I wanted to talk about was like kind of just like a post-mortem on the Acolyte, because that kind of like just came across. We talked about it briefly last week, but there's been this groundswell of like hashtag renew the Acolyte.
Mm-hmm.
Where were all you guys when the show came out?
Right.
First of all,
and I mean it's both sides of the coin, because there was people that wanted that show canceled before the show came out, and now there's people coming out of the woodwork. I was like, and this goes to like one of the points I always make about, and we do what we do right now. Like, we still review these things, but at the end of the day, like, this doesn't matter. Like, what we do doesn't matter. We're just having fun talking about things that we like, don't like, whatever it may be. At the end of the day, we need to start taking things for what they are instead of what they should have been. If we start approaching more like that, like, everybody would be a little bit more happy in their lives.
Yeah.
And not want things canceled, instead of, like, I don't know, going and sitting on, like, your porch and just enjoying life a little bit more. Like,
yeah, that's
probably a better approach to life. But, it's unfortunate what the show and the creators have gone through. Like, it is unfortunate. Like, perhaps I treated you too harshly, possibly. Like, we don't agree with show choices, but we talked about it last week. Like, technically that show is sound. Like, there's a lot of great stuff. Like, that show had potential for days. Like, that show had a lot of potential to do a lot of things too, and it still could, if it got more seasons, but we'll never know, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I know there's that Rolling Stone opinion piece about essentially like Star Wars like is never going to evolve if the fans don't evolve, mm-hmm. And I think there's definitely something to that, because there's such vicious backlash to anything that's not what was,
mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of hamstringing the creative teams over there. Like,
yeah,
every time we try to do something new, like the fans are just so vicious toward it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, even the Mandalorian's kind of suffering from this now, in some respect. And, the only thing that people were remotely kind of okay with was probably Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm.
And even people had issues with that until, the Hayden Christensen thing happened.
Right.
And then people were like, all right, this is awesome again.
And then as soon as the last couple episodes got there, and, I still had problems with the last few episodes. Like, they didn't, I kind of said there felt like there was this artificial touch to mm-hmm. those last few episodes specifically. Like, it didn't, like, Andor has a filmic finish to it. Like, there's a filmic understanding of Andor versus Ahsoka felt like, and to the point, and Marvel uses this point a lot, like, why we're not shooting, like, in, like, Texas? Because you guys can't keep anything off of the internet. That's why they're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was an expensive show, and, obviously it just never caught on. It just never caught on. But at the same time, just everyone chill.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically, especially Star Wars, like, chill. Everyone needs to chill and just let things blossom and let things, stop being mean to actors. Mm-hmm. Stop being mean to, like, creative folks. Like,
yeah,
they're doing their best. And
how tough, how much of a miracle it is that a project gets made?
Yeah.
Like a miracle. And all these people that are, like, saying, like, there's people online that are like death to Kathleen Kennedy, where it's like, you actually have a problem. Like, there's something genuinely wrong with you. Like, the fact that any of this is even made is just absurd. And I mean, I talked about it whenever, I can't remember what we were talking about. It was something we did a Star Wars episode, and I talked about that guy I met where he, he's part of this kind of like group, and they go to children's hospitals, and I'll never forget the words he said. And I think about that so often now, where he's like, sometimes I just stay off the internet, and he's like, I do this kind of, as like a side gig of like, I'll go to these hospitals and dress up like a Jedi and like, we'll perform for the kids. And like, he said, too much of Star Wars is like, I wish people, I asked him, I said, what's your favorite Star Wars movie? He said, I don't have anything because I love everything. And I said, you love everything? He's like, yes, why can't we just love the thing instead of trying to criticize every piece of it?
And you know what is interesting about that too, and kind of is a great kind of not counterpoint, but a great kind of alongside to that. So I talked last week that I went to FanExpo mm-hmm. in Toronto, and Cameron Monaghan was there, and he had a panel, and he said, the reason he's so in love with what he's doing now with Star Wars is because now he basically said like it's the most humbling feeling in the world now because he feels like he gave something new, and now he has like kids that are growing up saying that Cal Kestis is their favorite Jedi, and that made me like take a step back and be like, this is why like the new stuff is so important because
it's the Freddie Prinze Jr. thing that he talked about in that interview where he started going in where he said like, you know, none of this is real. Like I watched the Screen Crush video too where Colton Ogburn was talking about it because I'm not going to name the YouTuber, but there's one specific Star Wars YouTuber that is on the other end of the spectrum that everything is bad unless Hayden Christensen's in it. So, you know, all that he was talking about, like, the canon doesn't exist. It doesn't matter that that it exists. None of this matters. It doesn't really. Like, your logic and why was Coyote Mundi there at this time, and that doesn't matter. Who cares? Who gives a flying F? It does not matter. Like, at the end of the day, the thing itself is absurd. We're talking about space wizards with lightsabers. It's stupid. It's dumb. But what you should take of it is the love that people got from it from 77. And like kids, like you said, and he said, you know why the Star Wars isn't growing up with you? It's because it's for kids. That's why it's not growing up with you per se.
Yeah.
And like, we try to give stuff like Andor, and that's great. And like, you know, we start to do a little bit more mature things, but you're trying to take your child's brain to put it onto new things. That's not how it works. Like, this isn't, unfortunately, like, it's for everybody, and I'm sorry that you're cynical about the world and your child, you know, brain, like, your child wonderment is gone, but that's what Star Wars is.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I just thought, you know, when I was up there and he said that during the panel, the light bulb flipped to my head. I was like, man, like, even me, who I feel like I have a pretty rational kind of, like, thought process behind, like, anything that's, like, fandom related, like, even me, like, I never thought to myself, like, yeah, there's probably some, like, 12 or 13-year-old kid playing Jedi Fallen Order, and, like, Cal Kestis is the coolest Jedi I've ever seen. Like, I've never even thought about that. And you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And that's why I keep saying, like, the one thing I hope Star Wars does is, like, give us a prime, brand spanking new Jedi for the kids now. Like,
yeah.
Start over. Like, just give us a brand new Jedi. Find, like, a get freaking Jacob Elordi. I don't know. Like, just get somebody and, like...
I mean, not for nothing. Like, not everyone plays video games. Like, you could make it Cal Kestis.
Right, like, have Cameron... And Cameron Monaghan, what, he just turned 30 or he's 29? He's young. Yeah. He's not even... Yeah. He's pretty freaking young, like...
It's like, you could absolutely Cameron Monaghan.
Yeah, maybe end the third game and then, like, hey, like, here's your deal. Like, you're now... Like, you see how people received him as Jerome in Gotham? Like,
yeah.
He is... People like that guy. People really like him. So.
Yeah, he said he up there in the panel. He said he did he did so many, like, previous Star Wars auditions that he got, like, turned down for, that he just thought it was never going to happen. Mm-hmm. And then Respawn came to him with the Fallen Order thing. Like, I think he said he auditioned for Han Solo for the Solo film, didn't get it. He auditioned for, like, minor parts in the new trilogy, didn't get any of them. So right. he thought that the Star Wars thing just was never going to happen until Fallen Order, and then lo and behold, that literally launches him into the Star Wars universe
and helps Star Wars overall.
Yeah,
really want to think about it that way.
But that was it. I just talked about the Acolyte a little bit. Now let's move on to some Avengers drafting.
Yes.
So this is your brainchild, so I'll let you explain the rules.
Yes. So, like I said, we are going to basically do a draft where we are going to talk about.
I'm gonna flip a coin.
Yeah, we are gonna flip a coin. I was gonna have Siri do it. Over the airways, but I think a proper coin is really retro. I like that.
Are we doing snakes? Is this a snake style draft?
If you want to, we could.
Yeah.
Maybe not just because it's two of us. If we had more people, the snake draft applies a little bit better.
Okay. That's fair.
So we can just go back and forth. We can do every other.
All right.
I will let you get the first pick, though.
Oh, so I don't have to flip a coin?
I have to flip a coin because this was my idea, so I will let you get the first pick.
All right. Explain the rules. Give us the rules.
So, the structure of this team... You will get... I just added something in here, too. There's a little bit of a curveball for you. So, you get 7 core picks. These are your 7 Avengers. You have a leader. You have a powerhouse. You have a genius. You have a god, magic, mystic, monster. The Eternals are included. The Eternals are included in there. They're allowed to be included in there. Technically, to everybody on Earth, they were gods.
Yep.
You have a specialist. This specialist can be somebody like... Gamora, your Hawkeyes, like somebody like that, which is Shang-Chi too, like the best at, or maybe Marvel should make Shang-Chi too. Shang-Chi also, the best at what you should do. And then you have your super soldiers, so any augmentation of any type to you, and then your street level. So even though Luke Cage has power, he operates in the streets. You're going to have 3 reserve picks after that. So your reserve picks are going to be 1 more powerhouse, 1 more specialist, and 1 more god, magic, mystic monster.
Okay.
You're going to get a multiversal wild card that's not in the 616. So your X-Men, your OG Fantastic Four, your Blades, your Daredevils, things like that. I just added another one.
Okay.
You're gonna get an anchor being in there too. That was not previously picked. So as long as this person was not picked, this is the anchor being for your universe. Okay. And then you're gonna get a manager. So your Nick Furies, your Vals, your Thunderbolt Rosses. I even threw Hank Pym, Janet Van Dyne, like people who would have led the Avengers if they were, of age at that time. My girl Elsa Fallsworth. I love Olivia Colman. She's the best. Here are your rules and restrictions. 10 picks, 1 multiversal pick, 1 anchor being, 1 manager. Multiversal pick cannot be a 616 variant. So you can't, if you already picked Peter Parker or Tom Holland, you can't pick Tobey Maguire, Peter Parker.
Okay.
You can only have 2 OG Avengers. So from the original 6, you can only have 2 of them on that team, which you only need to worry about 3 of them anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I said, you get 1 powerhouse, 1 specialist, 1 god as your last 3 picks. All of them must currently be alive. They all must be, so you can't take Iron Man or Steve Rogers. They need to be alive, like, as of this second. Your specialist and your super soldier can overlap, and I'm thinking of the Thunderbolts for this because I can probably look at Bucky as a specialist, but he is a super soldier. Mm-hmm. So you could possibly have Taskmaster and Red Guardian on the same team if you wanted to.
Yeah, I would.
If the project is officially announced, come on, man. If the project is officially announced, they are on the board. And my example is like Wonder Man. Wonder Man, all we know is that channel favorite. We didn't even talk about Watchmen. We have to talk about Watchmen one week. That show is phenomenal. But like Yahya Abdul-Mateen as Wonder Man. So
Blade.
What's up?
Blade.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes. No all-powerful character can be the leader of your team because the argument can be made, why do they need anybody else? So current Loki can't be the leader of your team. It's not fair. It's not fair.
Yeah.
And then whatever manager that you pick, they cannot also be in the fight.
They're like quarterbacking.
Right.
Or they're coaching, essentially.
They're Nick Fury. They're Nick Fury from the Avengers.
They're getting the team together.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm on board. I'm ready.
Yes.
Am I going first?
Yes, go first. Give me your leader.
The
leader.
The leader. I thought a lot about this. Mm-hmm. There were probably like 3-ish characters I was circling for this, and I settled on Captain Marvel.
That's good. That's great. That's great to amazing.
I think she progressed a lot as a leader in the Marvels.
Sure.
She put aside a lot of her arrogance and a lot of her kind of like a lot of the short. That movie's pretty good, man. That movie does a lot for Carol. I feel like that doesn't get talked about enough, and I feel like at this point where she's at, comes from a military background, tactician. She's learned not to just punch things, and I'll see who you pick, but I can tell you after the other characters that I was kind of thinking between. But I settled on Captain Marvel as my team leader. Yeah,
that's a good pick. I'm going to go with Star-Lord as my leader.
Interesting.
To your point about the progression, I love how far he's come, and I mean we've talked about it, like how incredible and special Guardians 3 was, just on an acting level purely, and just his resonation with like having a team, and like a big part of a leader is like not only you picking people up, but like you being so far along as a leader that people are willing to pick you up, and that's what they did a lot of the times in that movie, especially in the beginning part where he was just so distraught about Gamora. Like they still willingly will go make sure he's okay, which I think that's special. I think he's smart enough, and like he kind of reversed Scott Lang in the universe where like he started as that bumbling idiot, but like now he's super credible and like
that's a great
super self-sacrificial. So
and he is a good tactician.
Yeah, he's a great hey, I was doing those huddles in the Guardians of the Galaxy game.
Well, and I mean one of the things that one of the kind of the throwaway lines in Infinity War was my plan.
Yeah,
that was his plan to get the glove off of Thanos,
right.
And it would have. I mean, he undid it himself.
Right. I mean, and again, it's the simplicity of movies. But what was the plan from Guardians 3? save Rocket. That's the only plan that we have. Whatever means.
He was ultimately committed to it,
right? And he was to the point of his own death that he was ready to go.
That's a great pick.
So Star-Lord will be the leader of my team.
That's a great pick, man. I really like that one.
Do you want to go Snake?
If you want, we can go Snake. I think that could mix some things up.
Sure. All right. My powerhouse will be the first of the OG Avengers off the board. That'll be Thor. I just think it's too simple. It's one of those things where it's right in your face. Like, I mean, I'm taking somebody that's been alive for 2,000 years, somebody that's been ready to fight any conflict you call Thor. Everything will be good, dandy, and fine. It's one of those no-brainers for me. And I think it equates for your Captain Marvel pick for your powerhouse of like, I kind of took a hit straight up power-wise with having it be Star-Lord, but then I make up for a lot of it by having Thor.
Yeah, I mean, he's a little soft now. He's got a kid now.
No, he's still Thor. He's got the axe and the hammer.
Does have the axe and the hammer.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great pick. I was circling Thor for obviously another one, but...
Yep. And he keeps getting more powerful and more powerful and more powerful as time goes on. I need that.
Yeah. Powerhouse. This one I didn't put as much thought into as some others. Man, that Thor pick is great. Powerhouse. You know what? I think I'm gonna stick girl power here, and I'm gonna pick She-Hulk.
That's good.
I'll do respect to my guy Bruce, but he's just not in a position right now where I feel like he's as formidable.
Sure.
I think She-Hulk, you get her incredible strength and durability and a bunch of other things, but can also be Jen. Mm-hmm. And she can also be wicked smart.
Mm-hmm. Wicked smart. My boy's wicked smart.
Hopefully by this point in her career, by the time we're fighting Doctor Doom, she's a seasoned hero. Mm-hmm. She's done some punching with some various characters.
She's going to be in Cat 4, right? This is like a Batman Hulk movie. I think they're all just put them all in the movie.
Yeah. So I'm going to stick with She-Hulk. I'm going to that's going to be my pick.
Good.
For my powerhouse.
I like it.
So moving on to Genius, eh? I am going to pick... Can I do this? Can I pick Doctor Strange?
Sure, because that was my pick. Go ahead.
Snake draft.
Snake draft is nice, but that's why I always have a backup for my pick. Why'd you pick Doctor Strange?
I mean...
Yeah.
On top of his vast magical prowess as not the Sorcerer Supreme, but, I mean, obviously just incredibly, Yeah. He's a genius.
Right.
It belies the word. Genius, able to go toe-to-toe with Tony Stark in Infinity War in terms of their brain power. Has seen the universe.
Yeah.
has traveled the multiverse as well at this point. One of the few characters in the MCU at this point that has traveled the multiverse.
Right.
It might just be him and America Chavez and Scarlet Witch.
Yes.
And Peter Parker's brushed with it,
right.
but he has not traveled the multiverse yet.
Exactly.
So he knows what he's getting. He knows what he's in for when Doctor Doom eventually shows up. Yeah,
that's good.
I'm going with Doctor Strange.
That was my first pick, but I'm going to remix my pick. There also is a genius, and who said I couldn't have two Thors on my team? Because I'm going to pick Jane Foster. Especially in a multiversal setting, I'd like an astrophysicist with me, and also possibly somebody that has the power of Thor. Now you're probably asking, didn't she just die? No, she's in Valhalla. She didn't. Technically, she's not dead. So
yeah,
she's in Valhalla. And I believe the end of the movie did say Jane Foster will return, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, they said that about Kang, too. And
no, it's different. It's different. She didn't do anything.
Not that we know of.
She's just, for sure, that's just Natalie Portman.
Yeah, she's great. That's a great pick. It's a tremendous pick. I love it.
Okay.
All right, hang on. While you do your next pick, I'm going to write ours into this little note thing.
I have my team written in my notes.
All right, I'm just going to put it in here.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, this is a fun thing that we might post at one point. This is a fun. These are who the Avengers should be. Now we're going to go to the gods. So your gods, your god, magic, mystic, monster.
Yeah.
For this, I'm always going to scream this at the end of the day because how much I love Flash. You always should make sure that you have a speedster with you, and I'm going to pick Makari. Yep. I mean, one of the most powerful Marvel characters in Icarus. Mm-hmm. She was handling quite well. And it was to the point in that movie multiple times where people said, it's Icarus, like we don't have a chance. And she was holding her own with Icarus. So
yeah,
that will be my pick. Get a speedster on my team.
It's good. It's a good pick. I was praying and hoping you weren't going to go the route that I'm going, and I'm glad that you left her on the board, and I'm picking the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, it's great. It's phenomenal.
I mean, what else do I need to say about this character?
Right.
She's incredible. She is gonna, hopefully, we've been singing these praises since Multiverse of Madness, that it felt like they were serving her up to be kind of like the main character of this next phase of Marvel movies. And we'll see if we get her in this Agatha show. I don't know. I would assume she's going to show up in this Vision show.
I have a feeling too.
If the plan is to make this a trilogy, like, she has to show up.
I think before, like I said, like both Agatha and the Vision show were going to be just very much like fun one shots, but now I think they're going to be like they're going to fast track Wanda back into the MCU with these 2 shows.
Yeah, I agree. And now I just have Doctor Strange and Wanda on the same
and
side.
Captain Marvel on top of
that. Doctor Doom, you're in trouble, pal.
Right.
So yeah, I'm picking the Scarlet Witch.
That's good.
And now I move on to my specialist, and this is tough. I
have a counter for who I think you're going to pick for this.
I don't even know who I'm going to pick. So if you have an idea, I sure don't. There's a couple on here that I kind of want to flirt with, but I don't. You know what? I'm gonna do a fun one for this, because I feel pretty happy with my roster right now, that this person might just be able to chill, and I don't know how she necessarily fits into a fight with Doctor Doom, but I'm gonna pick Elsa Bloodstone.
That's fun. I think that's really good, especially with the Bloodstone from the Elsa Bloodstone bloodline. That's a good thing to pick.
I mean, she's a specialist.
She's a specialist. Yeah,
she's a monster hunter.
Yeah, which I
Master monster hunter.
Yeah.
How does this fit in with a Doctor Doom fight? I don't know, but
who knows?
Who knows?
I mean, what business does like Black Widow have against Loki? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, true.
Right. So
say I'm picking Elsa Bloodstone.
That's good. My specialist that I'm gonna pick is Moon Knight, Mark Spector.
Nice. We both went spooky with our specialist picks.
Yep. I just think in terms of military background, he's the best at having multiple personalities. So.
That's good.
This guy is powerful. He's real dang powerful. So.
You just got to be careful that he doesn't switch into the wrong
I want the fun.
persona.
I just think him and Thor and Star-Lord on... Because when I get into my bench a little bit, I think it's going to be fun. And that's specifically why I have Star-Lord. Because Star-Lord's, like, one of his best feats is, like, being able to control, like, people that shouldn't be able to be controlled. Not controlled, but, like, leading people that shouldn't be able to be led in any way, shape, or form.
Also, you got the Thor Star-Lord thing back, which is quite fun. I enjoy that. I'm also imagining...
We're thinking marketing, too. I think we're not just thinking, like, whose team would win. Like, we're thinking, like...
I'm also like, just picturing how Makari fits into all this. Like...
I think it would be... Oh, you know what would be hilarious? If one of Mark's personalities fall in love with Makari. I feel like that would be just absolutely phenomenal.
I like that we both went, like, spooky, like, Midnight Suns-ish with our specialist pick.
Yep. And then I would move on to my street level.
Nope. Super Soldier.
Oh yeah, I forgot about my Super Soldier.
Come on, man.
My Super Soldier I will keep very simple. Will I keep it simple though? Ooh, this just got a little interesting.
He said, I keep it simple?
I probably won't. For my Super Soldier, I'm gonna pick Robert Reynolds' The Century. Because technically, using the Thunderbolts rules, he is technically a super soldier. He's just the super soldier.
Wow.
I hate that I had to do that one to you, but your team's looking kind of strong, so I needed an absolute tank on my team.
That's a great...
And Robert Reynolds is the definition of a tank.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of issues that arise with the Century.
There's a lot of issues that arrive with my team as a whole. My team has issues. One of my teammates is dead.
Your team is very volatile.
Yeah, it is. I love it. I love the chaos energy. It's fun.
My team is much more controlled.
And the Scarlet Witch.
She's controlled now. She's reformed.
Will you have Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch on the same team? Remember what happened last time?
They got along at the end.
She killed herself.
Out of heroism.
And the multiverse is still in trouble.
It's fine.
Like, what's my team's big thing? Like, relationships? I don't know. Like,
yeah, there's a lot.
Oh, yeah, the Thor and Jane thing's gonna be. Oh, they're like cool. Like, they love each other. They would have been together if she didn't pass away.
Yeah.
Or go to Valhalla.
Yeah. So my super soldier, I didn't overthink this, and I'm taking Bucky. I need a little bit. I need a steady hand in this group.
And you have you have a technical vet now, like not like a mystical vet. And how much of a vet is Doctor Strange? He's been doing this for like 8 years. It's not like he's been doing this for like 50 years.
Yeah, I'm relying a lot on Captain Marvel. Like I feel like Captain Marvel and Bucky can kind of co-captain this thing.
Sure.
Like keep things level, keep everyone in line. You know? Him and Elsa Bloodstone can hang out on the sideline while they're fighting Doctor Doom. They can have a drink.
That's fair.
So yeah, I'm picking Bucky for my super soldier.
Very fair.
Street level, eh? Street level. I'm not gonna do it.
I know who you want to do.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not gonna. I am going to pick. I feel like Kate Bishop's too green for this particular battle. Street level. All right, let me ask you this before I make this pick. Would you consider Sam street level?
That's disrespectful to Sam.
Okay. In that case, I am. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to take the Punisher.
That's fine. That's fine.
I need a maniac with a machine gun.
Yeah.
To just.
He would have fit my team so much better too, which I think is hilarious.
He would have, but I need someone to mow down heaps of Doombots.
Yeah.
And I feel like the Punisher is well equipped.
Right.
He's going to get machine guns, probably a bazooka. He'll get his hand on some grenades. He'll get like a Doctor Doom Doombot arm chopped off that he'll retrofit into a weapon.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fun and fair.
So I'm picking the Punisher.
Okay. Last pick of the first round, I guess. Mine would be it's contractual obligation. I have to take Daredevil. I can't not. I was gonna take Luke Cage, but I promise you I'm gonna make up for all this.
Oh.
All right.
I guess it's your go again.
Yeah, I mean let's just run through our teams real quick. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So on your team, Star-Lord is your leader, which is tremendous. Thor is also on your team. 2 Thors are on your team. You have Thor and you have Jane Foster. So I guess Thor doesn't get the hammer and the axe. He just gets the axe.
Which is, I mean, that's more than enough. And the more time passes, she gets more powerful.
And she gets, I guess, reforged Mjolnir that she can split into fragments and whatever the hell she was doing in that movie.
Yep.
So you get 2 Thors. You get Makari, which is fun. You get Moon Knight, which is also fun. You get the Sentry, which is spooky.
Yeah. That's actually the spooky pick, is getting the Sentry. Because I don't know what that guy's about.
Yeah. What if the Void shows up? He
doesn't even know what he's about.
What if the Void shows up?
Oh no, bro.
Then your team has to fight Doctor Doom and the Void. And then what if Moon Knight goes schizophrenic?
And he joins Doctor Doom?
And then you have the Daredevil.
The Daredevils. The Daredevils.
Which is great. And then my team. So my team is led by Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers. She-Hulk is my powerhouse. Just the powerhouse. The running back, y'all. To quote Remember the Titans. Doctor Strange as my genius. Scarlet Witch as my mystic / magic user. Elsa Bloodstone as my specialist.
That's fun. I love that one so much.
Master Monster Hunter. Elsa Bloodstone.
I wanted to make sure, like, I'm going to try to get one of these, like...
Randos?
Yeah, randos on the team. There's a specific one I need to get on here.
Bucky as my super soldier and Frank Castle, the Punisher, as my street level.
The Punisher.
Just well, we did do that with our street level picks.
The Devils, the Punisher.
The Punisher again.
The
I'm just imagining
Is Wanda a super soldier?
In a manner of speaking, I suppose she would be. But yeah, the Punisher. I'm just imagining hordes of Doombots. I'm imagining just the game Doom, but
Jesus Christmas.
It's the Punisher.
That's great. That's fun.
Or like Gears of War Horde mode, but it's the Punisher versus Doombots. And everyone else on the team is like, why is the Punisher fighting all the Doombots?
Why is the Punisher fighting the Doombots?
Because he's a lunatic.
He is a lunatic. Jesus.
Is he going to try and fight Doctor Doom? No, he's just fighting Doombots.
That's fair.
But yeah, those are our starting rosters.
All right.
I think Doctor Doom's getting packed up by either team.
Yeah, that Century 2 Thor is like... that's like the Spurs in the late 90s when they had David Robinson and Tim Duncan on the team.
Dang. Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, I guess it's your go again for our reserves.
So our reserves, you get 1 powerhouse, 1 specialist, and 1 god, magic, mystic monster. My powerhouse pick that I will go with will be... I need some I need some actual power on this team. Because we're solid. We're a good roster, but I need like a unit on this team. I'm gonna go with Monica Rambeau.
I was circling that with my other power up. Like instead of She-Hulk, I was thinking about Monica.
Mm-hmm. I think 2 Thors, Monica, and Sentry, plus Makari on top of that is
running around.
Yeah, and then Moon Knight, Daredevil, Star-Lord on the ground.
Crawl around.
Crawl around.
That's a great one. I like that a lot.
We'll just go back and forth for the second round.
Okay. So my go on the powerhouse. Man, I was really banking on getting Spectrum in the second round here. Now you threw me for a loop.
Mm-hmm. And she's like Jokic. She's going to turn out to be an MVP.
Man, I don't know how I ended up. I ended up with a female heavy roster, and it's going to continue here because I'm going to pick Quake.
Dang it, dude!
Yes, I sniped one from him.
Oh man, that hurts in ways you couldn't even understand.
I'm going to take Daisy here.
That's so good
with my powerhouse.
She didn't do it. She didn't break the earth.
But she was going to.
She was going to, and she has the power to do it.
Yeah. So I think she definitely qualifies as a powerhouse. So yeah.
I should have just taken Gaia.
Come on, man.
Just done it. We should have left Gaia off here just because of the absurdity of it.
Because she has all the powers?
Yeah, it's not fair.
What is Cole Obsidian's powers doing for her? Nothing.
But why do you need the arm?
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
So I guess, yeah, we're going to go back and forth, you said. So it's your go for a specialist?
Yes. We'll switch this up a little bit. We'll do specialist / super soldier. We'll kind of make it even, so it's like you can take either here. For this one, what I'm going to do, because I need a specialist, right? Or a super soldier?
Yeah.
I am going to take specialist or super soldier. Now I just need, now I'm just thinking about, I need issues. I need people that are going to be, you're an issue.
Yeah.
On this one, I'm going to take Ghost.
Oh, nice.
Because her power set can wreak so much havoc. I feel like that's going to be pretty solid.
What's going on out there?
I don't know.
I don't like it. Ghost is a great pick. I like that pick. I'm picking Captain America. I'm picking Sam.
That's good. You get a vet off the bench.
I get Sam and Bucky.
Yep, back together. Good dynamic.
I'm reuniting a lot of characters that are familiar with each other. Doctor Strange, Sam, Bucky, Wanda. All these characters know each other. Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like Sam is a good. He was great in that Infinity War fight, and now he's got more tools in the tool belt.
Mm-hmm.
He's Captain America now. So he's got the shield. He's got the new suit, new wings. Just heaps of stuff. So I feel like I said, he was great in that. Him and War Machine were low key carrying that Infinity War fight. Mm-hmm. So I'm picking Sam.
My God is the simplest because I needed something to counter the Scarlet Witch, and it's Loki.
Oh shoot!
Yeah.
Nice.
I need the God of Stories.
That's a great pick.
Simple.
We're dealing with someone's mowing their lawn out there.
Yeah.
So that's what we're. If you hear the noise in the background, that's what that is. So you picked Loki, huh?
Mm-hmm. That was my biggest concern. Is I needed somebody because I think everybody here. The only other concern that I have would be Doctor Strange on that level, but I feel like Loki can kind of control the both of them at that point.
So I feel like at this point, in terms of those power level type characters, I think I'm down to just Eternals.
Kind of on that stretch.
That's on that kind of plane.
God Monster. Well, it could be God Monster. There's another one in there that I think you're over. There's two in there I think you're overlooking. But
I was thinking about Man-Thing just to pair him up with Elsa, but I'm not going to do that. And if I need someone that I know
is Dane Whitman busy,
that I know is just gonna, like I said, just like that level of character that is just all around well-rounded, maybe a little bit of a mental instability issue, but I'm picking Athena.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
She's like the goddess of war, essentially.
Right. Yep.
She's basically, she was named for Athena, the goddess of war. So.
Oh, I messed up on a powerhouse pick.
Oh. I mean, you can still use them as your anchor being if you want.
Yeah, I don't though. I just don't.
So yeah, I'm picking Athena because Yeah, just because, again, like, mistress of war, mastery of all weapons. Yeah. Again, somehow I ended up with this incredibly female-heavy roster, but I'm not mad at it.
This is where the fun begins. You can't pick Anakin, but your multiversal wild card. This is going to be a fun one.
It's your go, right?
You go, because I started the last one.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, I'm picking Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man. I'm bringing Spider-Man in, and I'm bringing the Andrew Garfield. Am I picking with my heart more than my head? Probably, but he's the best.
That's fair.
I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, that's fair.
He's just. I mean, he's got a lot going on for him. So.
I'm gonna take Magneto as my.
Which Magneto?
The Eric Fassbender.
Eric Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender, Eric Lyncher. It's all the same. It's all the same in my head. No, I'm going to pick the X-Men 97 Eric Lyncher.
Is he still animated?
It's great. We just talked about Sonic. Yes, he's still animated.
Nice.
He's Magnus.
That's amazing.
Magnus, please.
I have wanted to say this to you many years. Shut up. Also, that Magneto probably familiar with Doctor Doom.
Yeah, yep. I definitely probably had conflict at some point. I like that a lot.
Remember when Dr. Doom was like, "Oh, genocide"?
Yeah. Dr. Doom's like,
I'm out. I'm actually out.
Yeah, not great. Not particularly great.
Dr. Doom does not condone this. That's a great X-Men 97 variant Magneto. Animated. I should have picked Beast.
Oh dear.
Maybe I'll make him my anchor being.
No, you can. It has to be 616.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
He can just be there. Beast can just be there in every universe. X-Men 97 Beast is just there. Yeah, so anchor being. You want to go first?
Oh, go ahead.
My anchor being, eh? I already burned Spider-Man. Can't do that. It's got to be someone that's like with some gravitas, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like War Machine.
Why doesn't he have gravitas?
He just doesn't. Boom, you looking for this?
That's pretty cool.
Man, my anchor... This is tough.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, I actually know who I'm going to pick.
Ant-Man? No. Can't be Ant-Man. Oh, I know who I'm picking. I'm picking America Chavez.
As your anchor being.
Yeah.
That's fun. Deals in the multiverse already.
She already do I want to put her and Scarlet Witch on the same team? Is Scarlet Witch passed the vendetta?
Well, I mean, it makes for good... See, we keep thinking about this as, studio heads. We're not.
Am I just making Multiverse of Madness again?
Yeah, this is Multiverse of Madness, and if you would have picked Man-Thing, it also would have somehow been Werewolf by Night, which I think is the funniest... It's just the funniest way you could have went about this.
Do I want to lock that in? Do I want to lock in America Chavez? Kinda. I think out of everyone that's left, I think she's the most anchor being. She already kind of was an anchor being.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Sure.
I just... Looking at this list, I think I want to lock that in. It's between her and Shuri, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Part of me wanted to also pick Shuri for this.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm good with America Chavez. I think I'm gonna stick with that.
My anchor being will be the son of two worlds, and that'll be Shang-Chi.
Nice!
And the Legend of the Ten Rings.
I love that.
Like I said, he's a child of two worlds on top of that, which makes sense. I think Simu Liu, who you just met, which is awesome.
I did. We had a hostile meet and greet.
Yeah, you guys fought, and like I said, pray for Simu Liu.
We squared up.
Yeah. if Simu Liu and Rob walk into a bar, pray for Simu Liu.
If anyone's friends with me on Facebook or follows me on Instagram, that's my profile picture now.
Mm-hmm.
Is me and Simu Liu squaring off.
That's awesome.
Great guy.
That's all types of awesome.
He was super nice, man.
Well, I want you to talk about the expo when we're done.
Yeah, I will.
But yeah, Shang-Chi, like I said, son of two worlds. He's the master of Kung Fu. I think to an extent, he's going to grow as a character. We just need him to get the second movie, please, and thank you.
Yes. Yes, dude.
And I think there's so much potential. Somebody made a good point, too. Does he have the best origin story? He has the best origin movie post Endgame. It's Shang-Chi.
And who has a better story than Brand the Broken? Kidding.
Come on, man.
No, I think I would agree. I forget who I was telling about Shang-Chi the other day, but I mentioned how it's one of the best Marvel movies post Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
Full stop. It just is.
That's so much fun. That movie is so much fun.
And I just want to see him do more stuff.
Yeah.
Do more karate.
He's like him, She-Hulk, Captain America. you should have been like full send on those characters post that. Like, it should have not even been like a thought. Like,
yeah.
But I digress, because hopefully we'll make back up for it.
Yeah.
Who's leading your team? Who's the manager?
I mean, this is, if you know anything about this podcast, you know who I'm gonna pick for this.
Who are you picking?
No, I'm picking Wong.
Oh yeah. You beat me by 1 second.
I'm picking Wong. I get the fun again. I apparently I just drafted Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, you kind of did.
I got the Multiverse of Madness crew: Wong, Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange, America Chavez. They're all here. They're all getting along now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to know.
No, I don't want to know.
But no, I feel like I'm very like mystic power heavy, and I feel like Wong is the one best equipped for this.
Yeah.
For this mission, to get these groups together. How is he recruiting the Punisher? I have no clue.
They just walk into like the same deli at the same time.
But that's what I mean. I feel like Wong could get to all these guys.
You should have put Madison on the team.
There's still time.
There's still time.
Anchor being. How come she
it's
wasn't on the list?
It should have been Madison. I was trying to get funny, but also I was tired, so I should have gotten real funny and real weird with this. I should have put Trisha's mom from Jessica Jones. She's actually the leader of this team. If she can market her like that.
But I think of funny enough, I think of the scene from Shang-Chi where he just like walked into the bar out of the portal. Like, I feel like he could do that with anybody and they'll just go with it. Right. Like, the Punisher might give him like a couple looks. Like, the Punisher would be like, what the hell? But then like Wong would eventually like get on his level and be like, I don't know. He would say some fun stuff to him. But can I see that machine gun? Wong will say. And then they'll be like, come with me, Frank Castle. So I'm picking Wong.
I'm picking Blade. Just kidding.
And it's also like Wong, like you said, like the manager doesn't take part in the fight. I feel like that's where Wong wants to be.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't.
I don't want to know.
He doesn't want to be in on the action.
He doesn't want to know.
He got dragged to Wondergore with the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, he was mad.
He did not want that. He didn't like that. He did not like that. He was like, we can't. He's like, look how far away from the mountain. Like, we can't get there. And Scarlet Witch was like, oh yeah, and she just like flung him up there.
And then she threw him off the mountain after the fact.
She did. You thought Wong was going to die in Multiverse of Madness.
I did. I was full stop that he was cooked.
And now he's leading the Avengers. So he's leading my Avengers.
Yeah.
Also might be leading the actual Avengers.
That's what a lot of people think. I'm going Nick Fury. Let's keep this real simple. Nope, just kidding. I'm gonna pick Elsa Fallsworth.
No, you can't. Don't do this to Fury.
You can't tell me that Olivia Colman wasn't one of the best parts of Secret Invasion.
She was.
She was so much fun. She would just walk into the room and be overtly British, and it was the greatest thing ever.
It was pretty great.
That was her role, and she would just tell a British story, and then Nick Fury would tell a Louisiana story, and then they would be like, something's going on here.
I can't believe you kicked Fury out. He's Nick Fury. Even when he's out, he's in.
I just don't know who he is.
Fury just came in and replaced Fallsworth on your roster.
Okay, I'm keeping Nick Fury. We'll make the. You know what? I'm gonna keep Nick Fury. How about that?
Even when he's out, he's in.
He's back in. Yeah. We're keeping Nick Fury. Can I have them as a pair? Like, can I have like co-managers?
I might allow that.
Yeah,
that sounds fun.
I want the two of them together. I think would be fun because Nick Fury's like a jerk, but he's not like the worst. But Elsa's like the worst, but she's not a jerk, if that makes sense.
I think it's fun that we both ended up with someone named Elsa on our team.
Yeah, a lot of Elsas running around in the MCU, but no Shang-Chi too, apparently, which is crazy.
Not Elsa from Frozen.
No. Wow, she might be. See, here's the thing. If my team were to go against the Doom bots, I think my team is great. Yeah. If your team needed to go against God Emperor Doom, your team is great. You know what I mean? Like,
because I have the Punisher.
Yeah, right. Right. And I have Ghost. I wanted to pick US Agent, so I had a Captain America on my team.
I'm just imagining
when he murdered that guy. That sucked.
I'm just imagining a world where like Doom has like my team did the rights, and then like the Punisher just stabs him in the back with like a knife or something.
Oh, like a magic infused knife that somebody handed him. Doctor Strange's like, here. Here. He does his grunt before he does, and just right in the back.
Somehow the Punisher ends up killing Doom in my universe.
Wearing the War Machine armor on top of that. This is the cinema they'd be talking about. That's awesome.
Somehow, yeah, maybe that's what we do. Maybe we just like spread like give our Doom, our versus Doom scenario for our team.
Go ahead.
I mean, for some reason, like I said, for some weird reason, I feel like the Punisher kills Doom in my timeline.
Yeah, I'm gonna
just because of his relentlessness.
Right. I think that's fun.
Like he's bloodied, like it's like, you know, battered, like but then like Doom, like, you know, he's about to like blast like Captain Marvel like to smithereens, and then like it's like one of those like it's like anime reaction frame.
Yeah.
Like Doom's like close up on Doom, and then he's like his eyes just go wide, and you just see like the Punisher behind him with like a spear or something.
Mm-hmm. I messed up on my powerhouse reserve. It should have been Adam Warlock. That's where I misstepped. But
Don't be rash.
Don't be rash. Oh, I could have also picked Clea as well too, because Charlize Theron's in the MCU. If you didn't know, she was going to be Captain Marvel. That's what a lot of people don't know. Always was.
Many people were saying this.
Emily Blunt almost was Captain Marvel. She was closer though. She was closer to actually, but I digress. I feel like my team is going to be fun because I feel like in the first movie that they're all going to be like. I think there's a. If this makes sense. I think my team has a slight naivete for how much of a hero that they actually are until they realize what a hero actually is, if that makes sense. I think that's a good track record for a lot of characters
you got a very plucky team.
Right, which I think is fun. And
don't call us plucky.
Right. And funny enough, like, that's why I was very deliberate. Like, the most important pick on my team was Star-Lord to be the leader of this team. Like, I feel like
your team has a lot of heart.
And that's what I wanted. I wanted a team that's like, we are relentless in this. Like, we've been through a lot of ish, like Magneto, Moon Knight.
Jane Foster had cancer.
Jane Foster had cancer. Daredevil almost died. Monica's in another universe. Ghost watched her parents die in front of her.
Loki.
Yeah, Loki. I don't even need to say anything.
Shang-Chi.
Yep.
You do have like the
Makari's whole, like, she found out she's an android. Like,
Sentry's a drunk.
Kind of.
Thor, obviously.
Right.
Yeah, you do really have like the tragedy all-stars.
Mm-hmm.
My team was like minor tragedies, but like aside from like Scarlet Witch and Punisher, obviously.
Right.
But like everyone else on my team is relatively well adjusted.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, my team is like
Captain Marvel didn't really lose a lot.
Right.
She-Hulk didn't really lose anything.
No.
Doctor Strange lost his hands.
Right.
But he got him back.
Right.
Scarlet Witch I already talked about. Elsa Bloodstone hasn't really lost anything.
We don't know enough yet.
Bucky, I mean,
yeah,
he's tortured.
Right.
Punisher obviously had the worst of it. Daisy, I mean...
Oh, she's been
through it.
Yeah, she's been through it, but nothing...
Sam, I mean, racism.
Right. Yeah.
That's pretty rough. Thana, I mean, she had, like, PTSD.
And again, she found out she was an android, and she can't remember half the stuff.
America Chavez, I mean, she got hunted by the Scarlet Witch.
And her mothers are gone.
Yep. Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man, obviously...
Yeah.
We've seen what he's gone through. Wong hasn't really lost anything
that we know of.
He lost that one woman in Multiverse of Madness that he kind of had a thing for.
Which one?
The one woman who like got vaporized trying to destroy the Darkhold.
They didn't have a thing.
They kind of had a thing.
They didn't have a thing.
It's not like a him and Madison thing.
Yeah, they have a thing.
They have a thing. So yeah, you have the Tragedy All-Stars, and I have people that were a bit upended by life at some points.
Yeah.
Besides Wanda and Punisher.
Right.
Wanda and Punisher have been through the worst.
Right.
But you have the Tragedy All-Stars.
And I think we're going to use that to our advantage. I like the two Thors. I like the two Thors plus Sentry. I wish it would have added Adam more. Like I said, in a physical, like, if your team were to come in and be like, you know, we'll magic them up and like, now it's good, now all bets are off, like...
Step aside, five's a tennis talk.
Right, like we're punching. Like, my team will out-punch anybody in the entire multiverse.
Your team is gritty.
Yeah, my team is like, these hands are rated E for everyone.
I mean, you have Daredevil.
Yeah, I do.
Who can take enough beatings for everybody.
Right, he's Catholic.
He's a really good lawyer.
Yeah,
we both have lawyers on our team,
We do, which is important.
Our teams, like, mesh well together. Like, if they were ever to cross paths, like, our teams would have fun.
Right.
Except for, I mean, Scarlet Witch probably wouldn't have that much fun.
If Loki was there, maybe it would be interesting.
It would be interesting. But, like, I feel like we picked, like, a lot of, like, same side of the, like, different sides of the same coin people. Like, I mean, yeah, like, Captain Marvel, you know, Doctor Strange. I like the Moon Knight, Elsa Bloodstone combination.
I was very deliberate with the Moon Knight one, too, because I wanted to use the logic of the specialist to my advantage. Of, like, he is a guy that's, like, ex-military guy, but, like, even as Moon Knight, when he's Mark Spector as, like, a specialist thinking, I'm not thinking, like, a god, mystic, anything. Like, I'm thinking actual, like, he's still fighting very hand-to-hand heavy when he's Mark Spector, which I think is great. You
would have had to push me off a cliff. I almost picked M'Baku as my leader.
I I had a couple leaders in my head. M'Baku was something I also was circling Rocket as one of my leaders. I also was going to genuinely pick Rocket as my anchor being.
Dang. That's deep.
Because if anybody can change...
You're very Guardians build.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, you know how... It's funny how, like, how much we're informed by, like, what we like.
Yeah.
So, like, obviously, it was a point, like, I knew this morning that Makari was always going to be on my team. I was never budging. And there's more powerful characters I was never budging from her as my pick.
I think Scarlet Witch was that person for me. Like,
That puts
as soon as
you over
you pitched this, I was just like, yeah. Like, just... I think you're right. I think there's an element of like the characters that we enjoy the most from this MCU, like kind of like informed our decisions. Because like I think I've gone on record saying like Scarlet Witch is like one of my favorite characters in the MCU. Like just her arc and just obviously
Yeah, I mean even from like because we talked like now we talk teams like even from like I think this is a great piece of. And kind of surmises like who we are too, because like we were also thinking like as like a studio exec.
Yeah,
we were like, how's this person going to interact with this person?
Well, the nerds aren't going to like my team.
Oh yeah. The incels are going to be upset.
I have the Punisher though. The Punisher can win some.
But does the Punisher outweigh hate for women?
Lady Punisher.
Like Lady Deadpool. I'm surprised neither of us picked Wolverine for our.
I'm just Andrew Garfield.
Maybe I should have done 2 multiversal wildcards, but I don't want the team to be like massive. Like I don't want this team to be like 50 people.
I'm just Andrew Garfield build.
Well, and that was my street level thing. Like I probably could have taken Iron Fist or what I was gonna do.
Fist.
I was gonna pick Daisy for my. I
sniped that. I sniped him.
A gun, and I think you knew too. Because why would she be on there as the last person?
I was just scrolling the name, and then I was just like, "Quick's kind of a powerhouse." And I was like, "Yeah."
Man, I love. One day we got to talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and like.
Oh, we will.
That's the definition of like, don't give up. Like don't give up on what you. Not only don't give up, but don't care about everything else. Just get what you need to get after.
Yeah, I'm glad that you picked X-Men '97 Magneto.
And again, to my point about my team being...
You're getting a hell of a speech. I'll tell you that
And
much.
that's what my thought process was, of like...
Who gives the best speech?
And that's why I said, like, or Michael Fassbender, Magneto 2, I could have easily picked, because, like, I still wanted that animosity in there, too.
That's kind of why I picked Sam. Like, I don't have any yappers on my team.
Yeah, you do need a... But is it Anthony Mackie or is it Sam?
Sam's kind of a yapper.
But, like, nothing crazy.
I mean, you gotta do better, Senator.
Yeah, he was. But they made him yap at the end of that.
The only yapper I have on my team really is Wong. You have a lot of yappers.
I do. Star-Lord.
You have Star-Lord, first of all.
I have the biggest yapper with Makari. I got yappers on my team. Like, I got...
Daredevil's kind of the yapper.
Yeah, he does. He do be talking a lot. He was, like, screaming. Like, just punch Fisk in the face in end season 3.
Thor Love and Thunder Thor is kind of a yapper.
Yeah. Yep.
Shang-Chi, a bit of a yapper.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't really have... Yeah, that's why... I think that is subconsciously why I kind of pick Sam. Like, everyone else on my team, they're all... None of these people... She-Hulk's kind of a yapper.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, Captain Marvel, definitely not a yapper. A straight business. Yeah. Doctor Strange is a bit of a yapper.
Sure.
Carl?
Yeah, he was just talking through the whole thing. Let the multiverse talk. God.
He did... Yeah, he was yapping to the Illuminati big time.
Yeah.
But that's because he's got that, like, air of superiority. He comes from that school of yapping.
Okay.
Whereas, like, Sam is, like, a shit talker.
Yeah, sure. That's fun.
Punisher, he just yells. He doesn't yap. Bucky, definitely not a yapper. Elsa's definitely not a yapper. Thana's just hands.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I need... Spider-Man... I have Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield Spider-Man is between him and Sam, they're gonna be yapping up a storm. He's gonna be making Terminator quips. Like, he's gonna be talking a lot. Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man. We'll indeed be talking a lot.
From a multiversal perspective, I think is great. All right. You want to add one more pick that should be fun? I have an idea.
Okay.
You get one villain to put on this team.
Ooh, any villain?
Any villain.
But like same rules apply. Same rules. They have to be alive.
They have to be alive.
Okay.
Same villain.
Do you have one? Because I don't have one yet.
One villain that has to be alive.
This is tough because a lot of them are dead.
Yeah, a lot of them are dead, but this is where I can start to dip into different parts of the universe a little bit. This gets super fun. One villain. Ooh, you know who I would have picked? I would have picked Gravik if I could have, but he's gone because he got a hand through his chest.
Marvel has a villain killing problem, so this is tough.
Out of all of them. Man, Bastion would have been fun if he was in the 616. Bastion would have been a fun one, too. Who else do I got? From a villain perspective, from the entire MCU, I mean, I can't pick Ross because I feel like he's not like a straight up bad guy. He's done bad things, but he's not the bad guy. Oh, wow, that's a fun one. I'm glad I said it. Now I just don't have an answer.
I don't really have an answer either because, like I said, like a lot of them die.
Wow. I was thinking Icarus to add to the team of like reshape Icarus because the conceit is like when they join your team, it would be like
But
okay,
he flew into
like,
the sun.
He did. It's almost like he's Icarus. Wow.
He flew into the sun at the end.
That was crazy. Man, I wish Apocalypse was in the MCU now. Doctor Doom?
No, you can't do that.
Kang?
What?
What an insane pick to have.
Not technically dead, I guess.
He's not technically dead. There's a bunch of them around.
That would be crazy.
That would be nuts.
What a return.
It's the return.
Oh, imagine he comes out on your side.
That would be wild. Namor doesn't count.
I was thinking Namor, but he doesn't count. Who?
From She-Hulk?
Come on, man.
Sorry. I in for this?
It's just tough because do we have to stick to the dead thing? Because they're all dead.
No, they're not all dead.
They're either dead or reformed.
Can't say Agatha Harkness because like I think a conceit that we have to follow is like you're getting your show, so like you shouldn't count. So,
I mean, based on what Catherine Hahn said at the panel that I was at, she said that she's still pretty villainous.
Interesting. This is really tough. Because I'm literally scrolling through and everybody is dead. This is wild. Am I gonna stick with, man, do I do Vulture?
I know who I'm picking for mine.
Oh, never mind. I'm picking Kingpin.
When I was speaking of yappers.
Oh, yeah. Him and Magneto on the same
You're gonna put him and Daredevil on the same team?
They're teaming up in the show. That's the rumor.
I guess.
Shield? But like evil Shield?
That's
Hydra?
That's
like a concept?
No, you can't do Hydra. They're Nazis.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Can I pick the Red Skull? Speaking of Nazis.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I can't pick the Nazi, but I'm going to pick King Nazi.
He's a reformed Nazi.
No, he's not.
You don't know that?
No, he's different. Yeah, yes, we do. What are you talking about?
I know who I'm picking for mine, and it's a dangerous pick.
Who is it?
It's Ultron.
Oh, Lord.
Speaking of yappers.
Lord have mercy. That's actually the greatest.
Him and Doom would have a yap off.
They would. I wish Shang-Chi's dad was still alive.
Yeah, that would have been... I mean, Thanos would have been the obvious pick.
Right. Oh, Ultron is really good, though. Loki? Man, that's good. The High Evolutionary's dead, right?
Yeah, he got his face ripped off.
But there was that deleted scene where he got back to nowhere.
But he got his face ripped off.
That doesn't mean anything.
Neither one of us picked Gambit for our multiversal person.
I know, I was thinking about it. That's what I was saying. Maybe I should have done 2 for the multiversal pick.
Ooh, about a name for myself, yeah.
Should I just add another multiversal pick? Because I feel like one's not enough.
Yeah,
we're getting it. You're getting 2 multiversal picks.
Go ahead.
All right, so we said your villain you're picking is
Ultron.
Villain is Ultron.
I also get because obviously it's Robert Downey Jr. Doom, so like we get the payoff of him fighting Ultron again.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Suit of armor around the world, eh?
Wow, I can't believe this. All right, so the villain you're picking Ultron. Oh, that's so good. I think I'm gonna stick with my. What did I just say? That wasn't Kingpin.
Yeah, you said Kingpin.
Or Vulture was my other option.
Vulture.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Vulture.
What? Over Kingpin?
Because like, what can Kingpin do? Like in a fight against Doctor Doom, what is he doing?
Yo, he might figure it out. He's shit. You embarrass.
He's a money.
You embarrass me in front of Vanessa.
He just starts boxing Doom hand to hand. I should have picked Vanessa.
You embarrass me in front of Daredevil. And he can't even see.
No, he can't. Alright, who's your other multiversal pick? I actually have one that actually makes sense that's going to really round my team out.
I'm picking Deadpool.
That's fine. That's good. That's solid. It's not going to outdo my pick, but it's good.
I got him and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. My yapping is covered.
A project that genuinely could actually happen in the... Right.
My yapping is covered now.
Yeah.
We have sufficiently yapped. Him and She-Hulk can both break the fourth wall. The proposal.
Like,
that'll be fun.
The proposal. This guy's kind of doing it for me.
It's like the three of them together would just be like She-Hulk and Deadpool both breaking the fourth wall. Andrew Garfield not knowing what's happening.
He's like, what the?
I just thought he was going to be black. Oh, I should have done Miles Morales. Frick! God damn it!
I'm gonna pick Silver Surfer.
Whoa!
Yeah. He exploded the planet destroyer Galactus, which is a feat in itself. If you're nothing without the board, then you shouldn't have it.
I mean, he is nothing without the board.
That was the whole plot point of the movie. He was nothing without the board. He was just a backstory guy without the board.
I should have picked Miles Morales, but I picked Deadpool instead.
Oh my god, I didn't even think to even dip down that route.
You already picked You picked an animated guy.
Can't I just say Magneto as a whole?
Multiple Magnetos? All the Magnetos?
All the Magnetos.
No, I think X-Men 97 and Magneto is the best Magneto ever.
And the most powerful. I mean, he shut the world down.
A, he's animated, which is just hilarious.
Yeah.
B, best hair.
Yeah, that guy's... Well, maybe I should think about an actor that should play him.
No. It's the animated Magneto.
Well, we're still holding the theory... We're still holding the theory, right? That, what's it called? That Beast from the Marvels that's the X-Men 97 universe just in the present day.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Monica Rambeau? Is this your daughter, Maria Rambeau, from a different universe? Oh, dear.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear.
It's a great head of hair on that guy.
Oh, what actor would play him?
Someone with a great head of hair.
Stephen Lang. But put a wig on him.
No. I don't know. Who would play X-Men 97 Magneto?
That is a tough one.
I'm trying to think of someone with, like, long, luscious gray hair. Henry Cavill.
Nope.
From The Witcher.
From The Witcher, specifically.
Liam Hemsworth.
From The Witcher. Denzel Washington. Oh, Jeremy Irons. I didn't even have to... Yeah.
Ooh!
Yeah,
That's a good one.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Like, Ozymandias, like, adjacent.
Right.
Kind
Either,
of.
like... Because I'm looking... Viggo Mortensen would be fun.
Oh, yes.
Some people said an older Daniel Craig would be interesting.
He's too stocky.
I think so, too.
It's just dumb. No.
I really do like the, I'm gonna stick with the, what's it called? What I just said. Jeremy Irons playing, because the yapping would be, that was fun.
That was fun. I had a lot of fun with that. That was great.
Good. This crew is good. Michael Mann's who's directing this movie for you?
Ryan Coogler.
That's fun. That's good. James Gunn.
Yeah.
Because if I'm gonna have a team like this,
I guess we can talk about some notable undrafteds. The Hulk didn't get drafted.
Yeah, Hulk didn't get drafted.
Black Panther, Shuri did not get drafted. War Machine did not get drafted. I don't know why I said that. Rocket, obviously you said.
Yeah, no Hawkeye either.
That's fine.
Ant-Man or Wasp.
That's also fine. Like, I don't like, I guess Shuri, I feel kind of bad leaving off.
Yeah, Namor is
Hulk, I feel kind of bad leaving off. A lot of these other ones, though, I feel like we did a pretty nice job of getting, like...
I'm still mad about... And also, I could have picked Agatha Harkness, too.
Yeah, Agatha's a pretty big omission. Blade, I think being omitted is kind of rough.
You know what I was thinking about, too? I was genuinely thinking about getting... what's it called? I was genuinely thinking about getting Miss Marvel as my anchor being, too.
I thought that's what you were going to pick, to be honest.
That would have been a solid one.
I just feel like... Yeah, I feel like we did a pretty nice job of
I should have put funny guy, like as one of like the team members.
I think Black Panther, I think Shuri and probably Hulk are probably the two biggest omissions.
Especially from like the genius category.
I was thinking about Shuri as my genius pick.
I just needed power. Like I as soon as, because who did you pick? Doctor Strange. I was like, shoot. Like I need a tank if we're gonna.
Yeah, me getting Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch is kind of a coup.
But like I said, on the other side of the court, me getting 2 Thors is nuts.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
You just got to worry about them bickering, but they'll be fine.
Or the other thing.
Yeah, that too. I have that. I'm worried about that up and down the list here. I mean, I don't know what She-Hulk's gonna do.
Oh yeah, she sees Punisher. This guy's kind of doing it for me.
Yeah, Punisher. I mean, Bucky.
Punisher Bucky dynamic is interesting.
Yeah, right.
Because that's the thing about the
They're
Punisher,
both killers.
But like, if Punisher doesn't like you, you're cooked. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what if he just doesn't like Bucky? Like, Bucky's a kind of guy that can be like, all right.
Also, like, Sam's kind of like morals versus like the Punisher just
Yeah, especially as Sam's first time as Captain America.
your first time as Captain America and you got to deal with the Punisher.
Like I feel like my team like would mesh after a loss. They would mesh because they'd have like a rallying cry, and they have so many contention points to get a rallying cry from.
Yeah, I feel like ultimately that's why I picked Captain Marvel, because I feel like she can kind of just keep everyone in line. Mm-hmm. Like at the end of the day, like she'll just like supernova and everyone will be like, all right. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like Punisher would like respect Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm. He's like, ugh.
Military, both ex-military.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, well, that's the point for Sam, too. Like, that's a good point for Sam. Like,
I do have a lot of ex-military on here.
Well, that's a good thing. They might all be like, hey, like, look, y'all. Like,
look, y'all.
Like, we all did the military thing.
Yeah.
Who's your manager?
Wong?
That's why you should have picked, like, Thunderbolt Ross for your manager. Cause
no.
All military guys?
It's fine. Wong can handle it.
But he's going to leave.
Yeah, that's why he's my manager.
Let the inmates run the prison?
He's going to get there, set everyone up, and then he's going to be like, see you later.
Is he Steve Kerr?
Yeah. He's going to
Yeah, he's a former player manager. He is Steve Kerr.
Yeah, see you later. I'm out of here.
God.
That's
some fun teams.
Yeah, I really like this. This was a lot of fun. Yeah, so I guess that's it, right?
That is it.
I guess I could talk about Toronto a little bit.
Yeah. Talk to us about the Toronto.
It was a good time, man. It was a really good time. Met some folks. Met Simu Liu. Met Cameron Monahan, like I said. Met Giancarlo Esposito. That was a good time. You know, and it's just, you know, obviously...
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Me and Bryce Dallas Howard had a nice couple 5-minute chat about Star Wars. Mm-hmm. That was fun. Because that was kind of like the angle that I came at her with. I was like, hey... I actually had her sign a Mandalorian picture, and she wrote Bryce Dallas Howard director, which I was like, you know, that's kind of how like I came at her. I was like, I really enjoy your directorial work, yeah, and that was cool. Obviously the panels, like I get a lot of you know, people obviously love like meeting people, but like I love going to the panels and listening to these people talk about their acting experiences and stuff like that. Dolph Lundgren's panel was really great. Dolph Lundgren was there. Arrow's own Dolph Lundgren. Mm-hmm. He was there talking about like, you know, just being an action star in the 80s and like what that was like. And, you know, really, really, really interesting to hear them all speak about, you know, because people get up there and they ask like, oh, what was your favorite project? And people, you know, they always say, you know, the next one is pretty much like across the board what they all said, which was kind of cool.
It's tough. They're trained. They know what they're doing.
Yeah. You know, Marina Baccarat and Ben McKenzie both did a panel. One of the interesting things about that, 2 interesting things came out of that panel. Marina Baccarat said that she, A, would love to play Catwoman, which I could absolutely see. Mm-hmm. And B, she said she wants to do more with Marvel and said she's dying to do Vanessa as Copycat. And then Ben McKenzie said he wants to play Jim Gordon again. He said he wants to, you know, revisit that character, you know, further along. And he said he feels like he's got enough time in his life that like even if it happened like even if that type of thing happened like 20 years from now, like he could still play Ben Gordon. he could still play Jim Gordon. So I thought that was interesting that I guess I didn't expect him to have as much fondness for Gotham as he ended up having in the panel. Like it really sounded like he was really, really fond of that show and filming that show. Yep. I mean, they met each other on the Gotham set.
They what?
Is when they got married.
Wait, they're married? Holy!
Did you not know that?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, I was about to say.
Yeah, somebody has my woman. Anyway.
But no, it was a really good time. Obviously, just seeing all the people there. You know, the amount of effort that goes into like the cosplaying stuff, I'm always mesmerized by. Like
so
people's
cool.
devotion to whatever their fandom is like awesome. Like I'm obviously a fan of stuff, but like that's not really like my bag. Like I don't have the effort to put into like a costume like that. But like just seeing the creativity of people is just incredible. And just getting a bunch of nerds together and doing nerdy stuff.
Fun times.
Yeah. Voice acting obviously is well represented there.
Comics, right?
Yeah. They had comic writers and artists. One of the people like voice acting wise that I was floored had as much of a like a following and a fandom as Neil Newbon, who voiced Astarion in Baldur's Gate 3. Mm-hmm. That guy's line for 4 days just would not go away.
That's awesome. That's amazing.
He got a solo panel in the like the main theater there, which was like who got main theater panels. Dolph Lundgren, Ben McKenzie, and Miranda Bachra and Marissa Tomei got like main hall panels, and then Neil Newbon, who's really just coming to his own as a voice actor,
That's
which
amazing.
was incredible. And I think like that was one of the longer lines to wait to get into was his panel,
That's
which
awesome.
was awesome for him. Like it was insane, like the amount of kind of just. And he won. He talked about his Game Awards Performer of the Year award that he said he was flabbergasted by when he won it. He said he thought truthfully that either Ben Starr from Final Fantasy 16 or Yuri Lowenthal would win Performance of the Year. Yeah. So he said when it was announced that it was him, he said it was like the biggest honor of his life.
That's amazing.
And he said it's the only time in his life he'll ever get to beat out Idris Elba for an acting award. He said, which was pretty cool.
That's fun.
Hey, it was a great time. I'm it's one of those things that I've done it 2 years in a row now, and I'm already looking forward to going back next year.
Amazing. Good stuff. That's it, y'all.
Yeah,
We formed the event. Thanks. You're welcome, Marvel. We formed the Avengers.
I think our Avengers teams are more fun.
They're way more fun
than what they're going to put together.
Man,
I did.
That one hurt because I put her there just for me to take her.
I gave you. I could have sniped you twice and done Daredevil too, but
I told you there's characters that make more sense, but that was a contract that's contractual. I had to put him on my team.
I mean, yeah, it's a good pick. He'll throw some hands with some Doom bots.
Yeah. Be good. He'll do some flips.
He'll do a lot of flips.
Which one am I getting? Am I getting She-Hulk or Netflix Daredevil? That's the question, because I kind of need She-Hulk Daredevil at that point.
I guess we'll see what happens with Born Again, but I'm imagining you're going to get like a hybrid.
Right in the middle.
You're going to get a hybrid, not quite as comic book cartoony as the She-Hulk version, but a little more elevated than the Netflix version is, where I think the Born Again version is going to end up.
Right. That's it, man. Read the socials.
Yeah, man. You can follow us on Twitter at ProjectINF_pod. We also have our own personal Twitter accounts, which are linked with every episode. You can follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on YouTube at the Project Infinite Podcast. All the podcast episodes go up on YouTube the minute they hit all the other podcast platforms. It's just a YouTube video, but it's just our logo, and then the video plays. And you can follow us on Instagram
at the Project Infinite Pod.
And next week is
more fun.
It's Labor Day weekend next week. I don't know. We'll think of something.
Yeah, we thought of something this week.
We did think of something. You thought of something this week.
I stole something from this. Full rights to Screen Crush.
Yeah. So we'll figure something out for next week, I'm sure. Maybe, I don't know. Let's see. It's the 3rd, 10th. We could do... Maybe not next week, but we can do a WandaVision thing in the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
To get ready for Agatha.
Yeah, maybe we just...
Especially since now it's a trilogy.
Yeah, we never properly reviewed that.
No.
Yeah, we started after WandaVision. So
yeah, our first episode was... Our first review was the Suicide Squad.
Right. Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Sorry, David Ayer.
That was our first proper review, so... maybe we'll maybe not next week, but probably the week after we'll do WandaVision. Yeah. As we... Apparently, like I said, we now know it's a trilogy, so... WandaVision will obviously be prescient in Agatha. Yeah,
because it was all along.
It was Agatha all along, man. But that's it. From me, from the wow. Yeah. Oof. I'm gonna say that. I'll say this from the Kevin Feige of the podcast.
Yeah, that was very producer-esque of me.
This guy put together a topic. He put together rules. Put together a universe for us to play in, and I had a lot of fun with this.
And the goal is we're gonna remix this for DC, probably as the preview for Superman in July of next year.
Which one of us gets Oliver Queen is the question.
Yeah. We already started kicking around some ideas. One of the ideas is that instead of this needing to be 616, it's kind of the reverse, where nope, don't do it. Where your team has to be from since the 40s for DC.
It wouldn't be a DC episode without a convoluted multiverse. Right. A crisis is imminent.
Yeah, a crisis is imminent. Imminent.
Yes. There it is.
Whatever Eminem was rapping about.
All right, guys. Yeah, that's it. And we'll see you next week for something. Until then, goodbye.
Peace.